Are there universal truths? And if so, what are they?
Anything based on the illusion is not true. So, what they consider universal laws of physics and universal laws of mathematics is very dependent upon where in the universe you reside. We have said this once before that humans judge things by their 10 digits. So thy mathematical system is based on tens. But dost thou think that all over the universes, that what they consider mathematics is the same? It can't be. So that is not a constant. That is not a truth. We will tell thee what we believe is the only truth. Well, the only truths. All things are connected. Whether they see it or not, they are connected to everything. There is no separation except within the illusion. The second absolute truth is that the source is love. That is, all the source is absolute love. A love beyond what they can even perceive of yet. Because as we have said, love upon terra has been for so long possessive love. That understanding how immensely incredible that the source is will take some work yet. Those to us are the two absolute truths that are absolute no matter where in the cosmos they are. So if the source is love, total and complete beyond anything we can imagine, then that means the concept of a punishing God is not true. Is that not right?
True.
But many see this as an absolute truth.
They do.
Many see karma as an absolute truth. And we have said this before. The only reason karma exists is because humanity believes in it. So that which humanity believes in on Terra becomes consensus reality, and it exists. But it doesn't have to. Thy science says that there are no solids, that everything is made up of moving atoms, and there is more space than there is solid. But yet humanity believes that when they sit upon a chair, that chair will hold them. Chair won't hold them, but they believe it. So the consensus happens and the chair holds them. But geckos believe they can walk up walls, even though humanity sees it as solid. The gecko knows that it can put its little toenails into between those atoms and walk right up the wall and walk on the ceiling and be fine. The gecko knows this. Why doesn't humanity? So many truths in humanity that aren't true at all. Makes thy lives very complicated. They believe in time. But over and over and over, it is proven that time does not exist. They believe in 3 dimensions only. But even thy scientists now are talking 15 and more dimensions, and there are many more than that. So if they look back in thy history, they will see all the time that there were absolute truths in science, in religion, in beliefs in general, that now are laughed at. Once upon a time, it was believed that all the planets went around the Earth. And anyone who suggested that the Earth actually went around the sun, like many other planets, were considered heretics and killed. But now they look at that and they think, how stupid. How could anyone have believed that? They came out of that illusion, and now that illusion seems very stupid. When it was first suggested that germs existed, everyone thought those scientists were completely off. There was something wrong with them. There was no such thing as a germ, a thing that you couldn't see, that if you didn't wash your hands, you could infect someone. And so they laughed at it, and many people died in surgeries and other things because there was no sanitation. But now, the idea of going into surgery without everybody washing up and being covered and gloved and everything sterile would be unconscionable. But we are here to tell thee that when they believe, they won't even need doctors and surgeries, for thee can have control over thy bodies. But they have to come way farther than they are now and truly trust this before it will become truth.
What about if we're part of source, can source ever be destroyed? Or
no, as we have said before, energy is energy is energy. It can be mutated, it can change, but it can never be destroyed. Source is energy. It is the total energy of love, cannot be destroyed.
it can only be changed, and we can never be unmade.
Never be unmade.
Would that be a truth then?
It is part of what we said, that all things are connected.
Okay.
It is part of that truth.
Thank you. Does anybody else have?
I have
Anyone
a
else?
question.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Mayama, this is Lynn.
Ayama Lynn.
Well, you've kind of shaken me up tonight saying that karma is a human construct. Is there something that is harming us by believing in that? Or is there some way we should get rid of that belief because it's not doing us any good?
Well, as we said before, if it is part of consensus reality, if the mass of beings on Terra believe in cause and effect, which is what karma is, then cause and effect exists. It is a truth on Terra. So if they do not want to believe in it, they can start a movement that decides that cause and effect is not a truth, and thus get enough minds, start thy own 100th monkey, get enough minds to agree with thee, and it will be gone. But what karma is for most beings on Terra is guilt. Look at it. They think they did something wrong so that they need to be punished. Because again, the concept of a punishing deity. We have already told thee there is no punishing deity. So where does karma come from? It comes from thee. If thee feel guilty, then thee will set thy energy in a way to create a rebound for that guilt, a punishment, in order that thee can release that guilt. And that is karma.
You have told us in the past, though, that we're doing things now, or I've heard you talk to several people about this, that we're doing things now, kind of my idea, the way I heard it, was to make up for things that we did in previous lives.
because they believe in karma.
Okay.
So they will, as long as consensus reality believes in a thing, that thing is present for all of thee. When they stop believing in that thing, then that thing no longer has sway. Again, the idea of gravity, if enough of thee realize that gravity does not have to control thee, then thee can fly. Look for how long people believed flight was impossible until it was done, until enough minds said, why is this impossible? And then the Wright brothers proved it was not. So everything on Terra works that way. As long as consensus reality is one direction, it will stay there until enough minds say, why? What else can happen? And when that happens, that's 100th monkey.
Thank you.
Question on the 100th monkey. Since there are multitudes of them happening on the planet for various and sundry reasons, we used to think it was a number of people, but it's not. It's an energy. Where is that tipping point of energy?
There is no, spoken like a true human,
Thank you.
there is no specific number.
Oh, no, I'm not looking for a number.
Or it's just the energy gets to a point. Here's the only way we think we can describe it. When someone sings at a very high octave,
Okay.
a glass shatters.
Yes.
That's what this is like. When the energy gets to the right octave, the illusion shatters.
Beautiful.